I was driving from the Watercolour Centre back home.
Yeah.
So I come down to the A46.
Good evening. Yeah.
First left onto the M40. Oh no, you've blocked it off. You've got roadworks. Now where the heck do I go? And it was a case of right, I'll turn off at the next junction, and then I had to pull in and think, oh thank God I've got my sat nav with me.
Yeah.
And so then even after that, then I got into the habit of just
Well,
even if I knew where I was going, taking my sat nav because roads are being blocked unknown to you.
yes, I use my sat nav on my phone all the time. In fact, I use it sometimes just to come to work because it's a bit of a potluck now coming over the motorway. There was nearly a 10-minute delay. Bear in mind I only live 6 miles away. There was a 10-minute delay on the motorway junction. So a 10-minute journey takes nearly 20 minutes or more. Well, that's no good. I hope you're all right online. I'm not sure who's joining me online. Rosemary, I think you are, aren't you? And we are going to have Daniel, so the bonga will go, but he doesn't finish work until just. But I know he'll speed himself up a little bit. I've promised I'll make him a coffee when he gets in. He does work hard, you know. He works. He does admin for the health centre and all the IT and the booking in and all of that kind of stuff. But he does work a lot of shifts. I've done a hint of where the shadow on the building is. On the floor, rather. And the snow on the roof. I chose this one. This is Blackrock Cottage at Glencoe. It's extremely popular for photographs. I don't think it's lived in. It used to be a hiker's cottage or something, I believe.
They usually called buffers, weren't they, in the Highlands?
Yes.
Or people who were walking, or people that were up on the high mountains with sheep.
Yes. Because they have a few in the Lake District as well, don't they, where you can just shelter if the weather takes a turn for the worst. You've got plenty of time to draw. Watercolour pencils. It's good. So yeah, it was nice to actually have a proper meal on Saturday.
Your story, actually, you reminded me of a scene from Downton Abbey. I don't know if you're a Downton Abbey fan.
Yeah.
And it was when Dame Nellie Melba, played by Kira Takanawa,
Yes.
was playing. And when she came in, the butler spoke to the master of the house, and they said, "We'll just take a tray up to her in her room," sort of thing. And the butler says, "We'll bring a tray up for you in your room until you're ready to do your performance." He went, "Oh, all right then, whatever you think." And then when she's not there at the dinner, it's a case of, where is she? They said, "Just open a room until she's required."
Because they treated her like a servant. Yeah. I mean,
and then when you said you were allowed to sit there, that was just eventually Dame Nellie was allowed down to have her to have the dinner.
yeah.
And the Lord and Mum, I don't know these arty sorts. Well, then they found a mutual interest in wine, so you could discuss wine with her. But it was just you being allowed to sit there.
Yeah.
With the hired hand.
It is because a lot of places, because you're not like a celebrity, you are treated like a servant, and you're just shoved up a corner, or you get like a tiny waiting room or a curtain to change behind if you need to, and you get given scraps. It's really interesting. Whereas if you're a famous one,
Well, yeah.
you're everywhere. But then they couldn't afford you if you were a famous one. They gripe about paying you at all anyway. I was asked by one venue, is it just you? Do you not come with a band? And I said you couldn't afford me if I was a band. because I'd need at least a 10-piece big band for swing music. I said that's why I sing to back. Oh, we'd really prefer live music, so they'd rather pay nobody and have a performer performing to backing tracks and have somebody with a guitar doing absolutely totally different music. It's
but I think some people, I haven't an appreciation of how much this costs.
yeah.
My friend Karen that came here, her husband's just taken over chairmanship of the Kilsby Jazz Club, and he's looking at, trying to, with the artists that he's getting.
Yeah.
And if you're having slightly that grade rather than that grade of artist, you pay a little bit more. I think you'd be surprised at how much.
Yeah.
It is.
It is very expensive. I mean, I don't like charging too much, but then I don't like charging too little because I feel bad for the other artists. I don't want to undercut artists because so I have to do a lot of research about how much I pay.
What is your worth?
But also, if I'm bringing all my own equipment, I've got to have my own liability insurance, and I've my big speaker that I don't use for Hilliers and stuff, that cost over nearly £3,000. It's all the equipment. My microphone cost over 250 quid just for a microphone, and every backing track is £1.50. So I've got 800 songs. It all adds up. I mean, you don't really make any profit for years when you're singing. I'm not sure if we've got Rosemary today.
I do think people think it should all sort of be free, but you're thinking, well,
yeah.
Why?
There was somewhere, it wasn't too far away, I think it was Brackley, they had a vintage event that they wanted, and they messaged me and they said, oh, we'd love you to perform. And they said, as we're a small, a small event, we can't afford to pay you, but you can sell your CDs. And I said, but you need to at least cover my petrol to get to you. I said, I can't run at a loss. I mean, I might not sell any CDs, and you want me there for 3 or 4 hours to sing, cover my pet. No, we can't. We don't have the budget for that. But they have the budget for all the other stuff. There's never the budget for the music. Never.
It's strange, though, isn't it?
Because they don't appreciate it in the same way. Hello, Rosemary. Or a cuppa and a biscuit to build you up. That sounds good. Let me knock that light down 1 notch. Do you know what? I think I'm gonna attempt. Oh, I'm going to attempt to record this as a not stop motion. What's it called? Time lapse. Yeah. And I have every intention of doing these all the time, and then I forget to press start, and then I remember when I've already done the sky. Because of course I'm not set up. I could have done this ages ago, but I have been busy. I've had to do the Christmas window today.
Oh, you've done it outside? Oh.
Yeah, I've done the shop window ready for Christmas. Because...
What's your theme?
Oh, I've just found the stuff out from last year. I
What
can't...
will be in it? I think it's 100 years of Dior, so Harrods windows are all Dior.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, mine is...
You haven't done that then?
I haven't done anything. I've just shoved some stuff in the window. I know, I'm sorry to spoil the magic, but I just needed to do it ready for the light switch on weekend, really.
Okay.
I was trying to say they don't understand that the music makes or breaks. Well, exactly. Because some of the events I've played at locally, the big events, and there's never a budget for the musicians, yet it's the musicians that they promote to make the event. And they know, like I've got a decent following of all ages, so they know I'll promote it, and they'll get like with Hilliers, they know I will always get a handful of people come in to watch me who'll go and buy something. But then, like Hilliers pays they've got no problem about paying because they know it's worth it and it does
Yeah.
what they want it to do. But there are other events where you don't get paid. But I'll do it if, or I'll do it cheap or for free if it's a big crowd and I think I'll get good photos, because that's what I have to think of is like professional photography. I can't afford professional photography, so if I've got, like with the Christmas light switch on, if I've got a good professional photographer and and I know there's a lot of people in the crowd that hopefully might book me for a future thing, I don't mind that so much. So I do pick and choose how I work.
Do you have a video of you performing?
I do on our website, yeah.
That's it,
On my Bo Norton website, I do, yeah. I've got a reel, but it's all with my beard. I haven't had a reel since. I'll have to record another one now. I've got just a moustache. But no, it's. I enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. It's nice and varied. I've started getting less terrified. I'm still scared.
Really?
But oh
You
god,
surprised me,
yeah.
aren't you?
Oh, for little gigs, I'm not that worried. But for biggies, because
I've never
it's
been.
sort of, it's not even crowds, because I've been performing in front of crowds either painting or whatever, or talking and teaching all of my adult life. It's the thought of, what if I can't hear it well, or what if my voice decides to sing a different note, because it can. But I watched Frank Sinatra, a recording of him, and he was singing one of his songs that he sang all the time, and he sang totally the wrong note, and he went, hang on, we'll try it again.
Alright.
There we go. Right, we'll start again. And that made me feel so much better that, if Sinatra can cock up.
Well, it's just, and there is so much that many artists, actors will go get frightened, stage fright before they go, I can't do this, I've forgotten all the words. And as soon as they're like shoved out onto the stage,
Yeah.
it all comes, isn't it? It's
Well,
the thought
yeah.
of doing it.
I mean, I can't remember the lyrics. My brain just... The songs I've sang for 30 odd years, I know them off by heart here. I could sing them in my head or while I'm doing housework. Put me on the stage, I don't even know who I am. So I have to have the lyrics there just as a referral. Because what I found with a lot of the songs that I sing is they have a lot of memory and they have a lot of meaning for people.
Yes, they do.
Because some of the modern singers go, oh, I just wing it, don't matter if you make it up. Where I would rather be seen reading the lyrics than making it up and getting it wrong, because they do mean a lot to people. And pianists and orchestras have all the music scores, so I don't know why a singer is expected to just know it all. I can't just know 800 songs and retrieve them like that.
No, because even people that write their own songs do have difficulty in doing that.
I saw the Macy's parade last year, Mariah Carey singing All I Want for Christmas Is You. Over the road was a big screen projecting all the lyrics on for her, and this is a song she sings every year for 30 years, and yet she has to have it. And I just thought, you know what, no, I'm having lyrics, I don't care what anyone says. Are you drawn, Pam?
Mhm.
Are you drawn, Ellen?
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of.
Enough to get going.
You know what, I could be nice, couldn't I? And I could quickly sketch Daniels out for him. Do you think he'd appreciate that?
Yeah. Good. He wants to come in and relax, not be all.
Well,
Super
this is
stressed.
it, isn't it?
Although if he's a smarty, you don't have to bother.
He is good.
He's one of your.
He's very illustrative. He always laughs when I say that about his work, but he has got a very illustrative style. disappeared, Rosemary. I'm on the other side of the room. And he's only got to tart it up a bit, hasn't he? Right, so yeah. What's the time? Oh, he's going to be here in a minute. Let me put the kettle on for him as well. I'm just being really nice. I don't know why, but don't anybody get used to it or get any ideas.
I tend to do the draw into acrylics. I do the drawing every other week on a Tuesday. And then I thought, why don't I do watercolour pencils, because I've tried acrylics a tad better, and I say just a tad better is my watercolour, but it's not really. A little bit better than that is pastels, but I think, you know, that. So as long as we don't involve paints, I'm sort of okay. So I like my technical drawing. I always call the Tuesday class because it's just graphite pencils. This is my technical drawing.
Yeah.
This is my coloring class.
On Thursdays.
You're a pastel girl, aren't you?
Yes. My grandson wants to know if he could join me on the pastel classes because to stay with Nanny on a Thursday.
How old is he?
He's 9. 8, sorry, 8. Very well behaved 8. I showed you his drawings the other
Yes. Technically no, but if everyone's all right with it, we'd have to ask the group, but then nobody else can know. You know what I mean? Because I don't want everyone bringing kids. And I only, but also, I mean, the reason is as well why I say ask the group, because a lot of them come here to escape grandkids. But if he's well behaved.
He is very well behaved.
He's in a corner. Mask can take over there. That's it.
No, he won't. He'd be very quiet. He's basically quite a shy boy. So he'd be very quiet and he'd do his job.
It's always not thing with children. I was watching something this morning because I've got next like today and tomorrow I've got off work, and they're talking about children in their panto and sort of running around and throwing things. And you think, well, I never did that. I went to panto and it was always best behaved because we had to go again. Because we used to go with my dad's work back in the old days.
Yeah, in the old days.
In the social clubs and the kids. And my dad used to pay for my brother and I to go to the pantomime. We used to get taken down to the works social club and catch the coach from there. Then my dad would be there to pick us up when we came back again. But me and my brother never went, and neither did any of the children that we were in. You know, we were running around the Alexander Theatre in Birmingham like a mad person. None of us did that. We were all well behaved. And I thought, well, it's not okay to say, oh, it's a panto, therefore they can run around like crazy. No, it isn't. Scream out.
I think it's like a discipline. I was in the opticians on Sunday and there's one with 2 children. She says, no, don't touch them. Whatever you do not touch those glasses. And we counted, touch them 6, 7 times afterwards. So she's watching him. I'm thinking, you just told that child not to touch. And then you watch him touching the glasses and take them off and put them on. Where's your discipline, Mum?
Yeah, my mum always used to say, I don't care how you behave at home as long as you behave yourself when you're not. So I did behave myself most of the time, apart from biting the odd people, and dropping my trousers and showing my bottom. That was my party trick.
It can't be as worse.
Pull a Mooney.
It was about 5 or 6, and I don't know quite where he got the underpants from, but he had to go and be photographed for his moles in front of a nurse.
Yes.
And the nurse said, right, strip off to your underpants. On these underpants, it's got I would have made love to you, woman. I could have killed him with that song. But that's just him. He's just got a fantastic sense of humour.
Well, that's good. Right, I think we'll start because
yes,
he should be in. So I'm gonna get for my sky. I'm gonna scribble down like a light blue and a dark blue. If you're into paints, cerulean blue and ultramarine. But if not, a purpley blue and a greeny blue.
Those two do?
Yeah. I reckon.
I reckon this one there is that one.
Oh, that's a good one. Actually, them two together would be nice.
Let me see, yeah, that's right.
Oh, so we'll do a nice wet in wet sky.
So what we, oh yes, you said before about putting the
Oh, there he is. Oh, there's somebody at the door.
Who's dying to come to one of these classes?
well, they are nice, aren't they?
Yeah.
So those waters are good in the class.
I mean, I wouldn't. He is quite a good little artist.
I'm not really very arty at all, you know. Arts and crafts were never really mine. I'm sort of more like science rather than arts, but I've found that I do enjoy it. So that to me is the most important thing. If I had any hopes of presenting at the Royal Academy, I think I've dashed those. But I mean, yeah, if I but pencils.
Back row right hand side, Roger.
If I just did the
And we're only just scribbling two blues. Right, so this is good. He's here just as we're about to paint. So I'm going to soak my big brush just to get it used to get it wet, but also to make sure it's clean from the last class, because usually it isn't. Daniel's just arrived.
Hello there.
It's been a while, Dan.
Yeah, nice to see you now.
Since the last time, you see, Pam's been away in Spain, and I've been off with COVID, haven't I? And then we've been back for 2 months, about a month.
Last time I saw you was when you were quite ill.
Yeah. Right, so I'm wetting the whole of my sky.
What blue would you like?
I've got both blues scribbled, the cerulean and ultramarine.
Roger.
I bet,
Cobalt.
you've had a long day at work, haven't you?
Oh, I've just had a long day in general. Like, I turned up 3 hours early.
And they didn't-
You could start an hour earlier at 10. It's like, no, I'd go home and have a nap instead.
They
But then
they
I just went to the gym instead.
they didn't tell you about your shift change.
No, it's my fault really. I should have checked the rotor on the system. But my manager knows full well that I intend to return to you.
Yeah,
Like, she knew that in advance.
yeah. Well, you're here now, aren't you? So, oh, do you know what? I'm going to scribble a bit of grey for the bits, the darker bits in the clouds. A mid grey will do. So if I swirl these two blues together, and then I can,
And wet the whole.
yeah, all the sky.
Roger.
I was going to say, I bet you've not really eaten, have you?
Not since 1 o'clock. Problem is, I'm also not in the habit of checking the rotor on a Friday because, as you're aware, I do a roll now, so I do a different roll on Friday
Yeah.
and a Thursday. And weirdly, I'm doing the IT tomorrow as well, which is unusual, but yeah.
They have had a bit of a change round then, haven't they?
Yeah.
Then I'll put some grey in, which should help bring that mountain forward a little bit. I do like watercolour. It's funny, you know, because I never used to like watercolour pencils. And the main reason for that is that there's not a lot you can do with them in mainstream world. You know, you don't see very many exhibitions of art that are watercolour pencil. And I've never really had the opportunity. I think doing a weekly class wouldn't be cost effective. But doing it once a month like this, it's really lovely. Something like that. It's made my grey look purple on the screen. I like a little bit of purple actually. Maybe I'll add a bit of purple. Have you got your right pencils today, Rosemary? Oh, I think that's too purple. Right, I'm going to stop being just add and out. Brush down. Da-da. I've been working out the shop hours for Christmas. I mean, it's not going to be any different because I'm just going to keep the hours the same and just open Christmas Eve 10 till 2 because it's a Sunday this year. And I was thinking, do I or don't I? Because some Christmas Eves I sing outside and busk because you don't need a licence in Cherwell. And I can make £80 to £100 in the morning. Yeah, Christmas time people are generous with their change. But if the shop is quiet, I can sing outside, right outside. But if Jack is in, I can go a bit further down to the marketplace and sing. So I might do that. But I am going to do Christmas Eve 10 till 2. It's not very many hours, but I feel as a shop I ought to be open.
It is 4 hours, isn't it? So
Yeah.
It's not something just an hour. It's 4 hours. Gives people
Yeah.
time. When you put the
Yeah.
hours in the windows, people don't think. Oh,
Yeah.
Most of the shops be shutting early. I don't know.
Usually Christmas Eve most shops shut about 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Christmas Day is my first day off since October. I haven't had a day off in November this month, and I won't be getting a day off in December because I've got gigs and things on Sundays.
Yeah.
So in December I've got, what am I doing? Oh, I can't look because it's a play. The only Christmassy gig I've got now in December is at, I think it's a Saturday night or a Sunday lunchtime at Primrose Hill Farm near Ratley, that wedding venue place. It's they're doing a Sunday lunch, Christmas lunch thing. I think it's a public event. I'll find out more nearer the time, I think.
When you look on that place, sometimes they have things which aren't. Yes, they're an events place. I appreciate that. But sometimes you can do like breakfast and lunch. It's not an event weekend.
No,
They'll have breakfast and lunch.
It's a nice space, you know. Have you ever been in?
No, I keep thinking about going there, and I wasn't quite sure it was. And then because last Friday, not the Friday just gone, one prior to that, there was an accident on the B4100 between Gayton and Banbury, and I had to do a detour down through Shotswell. I went, oh look, I saw somewhere in my detour, when trying to get round and get home. I saw it. I went, oh, there it is. There's that place. I slowed down and had a good look at it.
Because it's run by the same people who run the kitchen at Farnborough.
Oh yeah.
So it's good food, but it's a big place. They've got like a large. It's all one big building, and then they've got a large lounge area, I suppose, a bar area with a big open fireplace and a few booths, and then then the bar in the middle, and the other side of the bar is the dining area. Well, I had a nice time. It was random last Christmas because he just posted on Facebook on one of the Banbury pages, I'm looking for a musician to sing some Christmas songs. acoustic if possible, short notice for Thursday, and this was like Tuesday, and Bob Dainty messaged me and he said, what about this? So I messaged them and said, I'm not acoustic, I sing backing tracks, but it's all the old traditional Christmas hits of the 50s, 40s and 50s, and they went, brilliant, that's perfect. I think they just didn't want Slade and big noise, you know.
Yeah.
They'd prefer somebody with a guitar or something more traditional, and they had me then, and then they booked me again this year, so that's nice.
Tell you where you could, drop a card in, and that is 40s Tea Room in Stratford.
Ah, yes, because they've got another one next door, or next door but one, haven't they, as well?
I don't know, they might have opened one since,
But it's the something lounge, I think, like a speakeasy kind of. The
Okay.
Officers Mess, I think
okay.
they own as well. I had Kathy actually got me and Jackie a cream tea afternoon there a couple of years ago before the pandemic. So we've been there, but I wasn't really singing much then. So it's a lovely place.
Yeah, because because a colleague at work was saying, because they're a bit work now, so if you're looking for something, I'm quite good at, and I know it's a bit, a lot of junk, I suppose, and they were looking to do something special for his parents-in-law, his wife's parents. Anyway, and so I said to go before, he said, suppose if I were you, go in first and make sure it's what you want, just so you know. So I went there and he said it was right, lovely. So they booked the upstairs function room, and it's also very 1940s. It was just perfect.
It's a lovely space.
Mother's parents, so yeah.
Really is lovely. So I just need my sky to dry.
Yeah, we're all in that position.
And I'm just going to work out my shadow for my snow, because we've got the dark brown for the rocks, and I'm actually going to do that as a dry method afterwards, so the shadow will go on first once it's dry. Now for me, I think the shadow is grey with the sort of deeper blue, the ultramarine blue.
You're looking at the shadow of the huts.
Yeah, so this shadow at the back is greyer, isn't it? And then this shadow is bluer,
Yes.
would you say? So grey with a little bit of blue she'll give me my shadows for the back end. Have you had a chance to do much art, Dan? Too busy working.
Mm-hmm. It's actually getting to a point where the Saturdays I'm working, which I've done for the last, I want to say since July,
Right.
are starting to affect my Sundays now.
Oh, really?
Like for example, yesterday I woke up at 7 a.m. Great, went downstairs, sat on the sofa, conked out till 2 p.m.
Yeah.
And did I sleep last night? Oh no, because I slept already.
Well, that's not good.
No. Only 3 Saturdays left for these clinics, so well, for the COVID clinics, which are the ones I'm more helping out with. But the reception ones get handed out equally, so.
Right.
What have you used? And have you done the foliage, the tree and the trees? The trees all on grass, no, the trees on the ones. So have you just drawn them in, or
I've just drawn some sticks.
with just graphite pencil?
Yeah. I'll do it more with colour later on, I think. Now that's nearly done. I'll blast this with the hairdryer because I'm very impatient. Trouble is, I end up blowing all of my paintbrushes and pencils off the table. As long as the area around the mountain's alright. How's it going, Rosemary? That'll do. That'll do, because I've got my... I can't find my hook now. I've got my colour, so with a wettish brush. Oh, that's a lovely colour. I'm definitely going to use that some more. A big brush, and now actually for that background one I need it a bit paler, so I'll add more water to it. Not the first time I've been told to put more water with it. So I'm looking for the shadow shapes. And then the mountain is darker on this side. Oh, I've dribbled into, I've got some mountain colour in my sky now.
The sky reflects.
It kind of does, but these are actual blobs. Blobs, Daniel, blobs. They're too fat to be birds.
So what do you mean, you human like the rest of us?
Yes.
That's good then. How would you do that?
No. Do you go to bed at a proper time, or do you end up going all doing your gaming stuff?
No comment.
Oh, see. I can't do anything because I'm up at 6:30 every morning.
I'm in bed by midnight most nights.
But I'm in bed or go to sleep. That's a different
I'll be
thing.
trying to settle down. Normally
Because I like to be in bed before midnight, because I turn into a bumpkin. But I struggle, and then I wake up really tired and annoyed with myself because I should have gone to bed earlier. Every time, without fail. Because I'm trying to fit much in. And like tonight when I get back, I mean, there's not going to be a lot of clearing up to do tonight. But from teaching and performing and stuff, you get quite wired. And then I don't want to go to bed. And then part of me starts thinking, hang on a minute, I still deserve an evening. And I try to give myself an evening that is impossible to get, because, you know, I can't have an old 8-hour evening or a 6-hour evening. Because there's only a couple of hours of the day left. That'll do, I think. Ooh, I like that. It's looking a bit more vibrant on the telly, but I'll go with it. Because the light's coming from the left. You may have worked that out, or you may not have done. So the left of the mountain is lighter, the right of the mountain is darker. And what's really cool, I can tell you that the light is coming from, it's not from behind the house, it's coming from this angle, because on the photo you can see that the trees that are here have got a shadow going up the building.
Oh yeah.
We may or may not do that, so don't panic. Mine should have been pale rosemary, but it's ever so dark. You need to do what the Chinese soldiers do when they're on parade. They have a pin in their collar facing up, so if your head drops it points you so you wake up. Don't do that,
Not where I thought
don't.
you were going with that one, but
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think I've seen that movie.
Yeah,
It's
no,
right.
no, they just have a little pin poking through their collar upright into their neck. Not into their neck, but if they start to, you know, drop off. Wakey, wakey. Oh dear me, wake up, Barry. I'm trying to still, because I'm still not recovered from COVID.
Yeah.
Randomly, my smell and taste went for an hour on Friday. Just random. And if I do anything slightly physical, like housework. Like I get palpitations. But I'm only like 8-9 weeks in, aren't I? So
it took me a good 3 to 4 months to fully get over it from my first infection in January. So
right, okay.
but I lost my sense of smell for 4 days, and that wasn't too bad because every breath you take is a breath of fresh air. Even when the garbage van comes past.
Yeah.
You know. But I lost my sense of taste in the middle in 2 days. For 2 days in the middle of that, and life was not worth living after that.
No, well, you see, while I was poorly, the thing I could still have was enjoy meals. And the first night I had a takeaway. I put a note on the order to say, I've got COVID, leave it on the doorstep and I'll get it later. Except the driver got lost, and then I had to tell him because I live in a weird place. So I had to come out. I come out of the door and he hung it on the gate instead, but that was fine. So that was really nice. I could taste and I could enjoy food even though I felt awful. So in my good moments, it was nice to eat decent food. But then 5 days in, smell went totally. Taste went to the extremes. So it was just, everything was either really sweet, really sour, or really salty. I couldn't taste things like What's-Its, just salt. And in fact, my smell is not back. I cannot smell Vicks Vapor Rub or Albus Oil, and they're like really pungent.
Yeah, indeed.
I've got a bottle of Albus in here. I can kind of, if I closed my eyes and somebody wafted it, I could know what it was. But it's nowhere near pungent.
No.
No, I ended up opening a new bottle of Vicks Vapor Rub, and I still can't smell. But I have to tell myself, just because I can't smell it, it doesn't mean it's not doing what it's supposed to do.
Correct.
Just because you can't smell it doesn't mean you didn't go to it.
Yes, exactly. Because I made a cottage pie or something, and I thought, because I can't chop onions. I normally buy frozen ready chopped onions because I really cry. I mean, when I worked in a carvery, I had to sit outside when they did it because I just cannot see for hours. My eyes inflame that much and I cry. And I thought, I've got no smell, this will be fine. So I started chopping the onions up. Couldn't smell, but I started tearing up. Not as bad, but clearly whatever the fumes, it's the fumes, not the smell.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Oh no, Rosemary says even with her cold, Cadbury's even went horrible and tasted like Hershey's. Yeah, Cadbury's is a special kind of chocolate though, I think. It really is. Or Nutella. And thankfully, even with my taste and smell, I could still taste Nutella. So that was something to be thankful for. I only have it by the spoonful. I don't waste bread on it. Just get a teaspoon. Well, you can never just have one teaspoon.
Okay, do you take the empty bottle and fill it with milk and shake it about and microwave it?
No. That sounds good.
Did I blow your mind just then?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I'll have to do that the next time. Because obviously I have to buy them for spare water jars. Because that's what they, you know. You need to have spare water jars.
Yeah, I totally see it. Bare necessity.
And they're such a wide neck, so you can get big brushes in, but they're a sturdy jar. Seemingly irrelevant. No, it's what's that called in psychology? A cognitive distortion, where you can convince yourself why you should be doing something. So as that's drying, I'm just going to use my pencil on its side, not too heavily, the brown one, to give. I'm not adding water to this. This will be just to give me some rocky textures. If it's too wet, don't do it. Mine is dry, but it's not totally dry. But I'm just looking at the time and thinking, gosh. But yes, in my even though it was at night time, I saw some interesting towns and places that I'd never heard of or seen before while I was off to my gig. There's a little town called Knowe, Knowe, that looks very swanky.
Oh yeah, no, it is.
Is it? Is it
Yeah.
like really posh?
It's yeah. I mean, it makes Solihull look like a slum. So yeah, that and Norwich as well.
Yeah.
They're the two sort of stockwork areas.
It looked it. It looked very swanky.
Yeah, it is nice.
Even at night, because sometimes, some towns can, every town with lights on can look pretty, but this looked like really, really not. And there was only one empty shop or an empty restaurant in the whole.
Because when we went, friends and I in the summertime, we went to the Cross Keys, which is a Michelin star restaurant in Warwick, and they had some chocolates there. And one of my friends, obviously, she lives in Solihull. She said, "Didn't by any chance buy these from the chocolatiers in Knoll, did you?" And he went, "Yeah, do you know?" In the past, you recognise them. So there's a chocolate, like handmade chocolates.
Like I miss ours.
Yes, I know.
Belflare, really sad that they went. But we are getting Hotel Chocolat, aren't we?
Are we?
Not in town, but on the where the Miller and Carter is on the roundabout. Around where Frankie and Benny's was, it's going in the Frankie and Benny's. Bit soon.
Is that when you say soon, what's the definition of soon?
I reckon it'll be open before. I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't open for Christmas.
Because that is the biggest selling point, is you're going to get most people interested, and once they know you're there, they'll be coming back during the other months.
Yeah,
of the year.
that's why I opened in October when I opened the shop, because I thought you're going to get people for the busiest. It didn't work because we had the recession, but in normal times you want people from October, so they know that you exist in enough time for Christmas.
Yeah, I know.
And then you've got them all year then, but
I think that's supposed to be the idea. Waitrose never opened for Christmas, did it? Because we thought, surely they'll get open for Christmas, and they didn't because of delays and all sorts.
Yeah.
So Waitrose never opened in time for Christmas.
I'd forgotten that.
Never shopped at Waitrose.
Yeah, I like Waitrose actually.
Not middle class enough.
Well, I'm not Daniel. I'm a council house kid, but I have delusions of grandeur. No, my aunts both shop in Waitrose and M&S, but what I've found is I'm not very good with big supermarkets. I don't like big supermarkets, and Waitrose is the right size for me, so I don't get too stressed out. And their own brand stuff is on a par with a lot of other things, but it is slightly better tasting, and their ham and stuff has shorter dates on because it's got less. It feels like it's got less chemicals and all sorts of stuff and additives. It's even their microwave meals. If you read the back, it's just mainly stuff that you could make yourself,
Yeah.
which I like. If I could find it in my kitchen, well, not in my kitchen, in a kitchen, I think it'll be all right.
I think the best caramelised onion hummus I've ever had has come from Lidl, actually.
But do you know what? Aldi and Lidl are fine, aren't they? They really are. I find their veg doesn't last very long.
No, it doesn't. It goes off very quickly.
But the other issue I have, for me, is because I live the other side of the motorway. M&S is my nearest food place, but they don't have enough stuff, really. And I'm parking in Queen's Road or Bath Road or somewhere like that. And the thought of having to drive a mile or two that way to go to Sainsbury's or Morrison's is just no. And I hate Tesco's with a passion.
It's very busy there, isn't it?
It's very busy, and I just don't like their ethos, the way they used to buy up all the land just to stop other supermarkets from building on there, and then they couldn't do anything with the land. So yeah, they're meanie pants, and I don't like them.
So what colour did you use for the box again?
That's just a dark brown, and I've just got it on its side without any water. Although I am noticing that this bit, I'm going to put the brown on and a bit of blue on, because this is a shaded mountain, the darker blue, and then I will add water to this. Trying to put it in equal quantities. The kettle will be going on shortly. Have you drank that coffee already?
You don't need not to be a drinking fiend.
I know.
And I
Well,
don't mean alcohol, just
no,
drinking in general.
but
liquids.
that's why I thought if you've got a drink, because you'll be exhausted from your work and your walk. And I said to the ladies, I said, oh, should I be nice and trace it for him so he hasn't got to worry about
I
that?
really appreciate you did that.
It's obviously going to be amazing now because it's got me. I've drawn it for you.
Take all the credit when I
But if it's about, I'm taking it, mate.
you haven't heard of it, no, I'm surprised at because you are
I'm a Midlander,
yeah.
but I think it's because I was so poor. Anything fancy would have passed me by.
It says that now, Mr. Waitrose.
Well, you know, I've got to look like I'm a proper businessman, haven't I? Even though I go in and buy their stuff with the labels on that's out of date.
I'll tell you, no, it's not adequate. But if you know what I mean, because I've been on a Friday, I'd come from work, so I get into Banbury about 1 o'clock, and the amount of yellow labels on everything is
Yeah.
phenomenal. When you want, you know, whether it's from the deli counters, fruit, veg, fish, meat,
Yep.
all sorts of things.
No, it is good. I get quite a few yellow label stuff, but I also pay in cash. So if I haven't got the cash, I can't buy it. So that keeps me in budget.
Are you a Waitrose member?
I have got a card. I've got my Waitrose card on my phone, so I give that a scan. But then I have got a Tesco's Club card as well.
We've all got everybody's card, haven't we?
Yeah, but it's really handy having them on my phone as a thing, because then I can just scan them without having to rifle through. And because the Tesco Club card deals are ridiculous. You know, I think that the Prosecco we buy for the paint and Prosecco evenings is like £9.99 a bottle, or £7 or £6.50 with your club card, and I just think, blimey.
Well, now it's coming into the year. They don't freak out. It's like, because it's Christmas, it's champagne season. And they were looking at, I think it was a repeat from last year, but they were looking at champagne from Sainsbury's, Harrods, and was it Lidl or Aldi? I think it might have been Lidl. And I think the Lidl came out as the top, and Harrods, and close second was Sainsbury's, and then Harrods was the least. They said.
Yeah.
It was quite surprising.
It is interesting. I found that my olive oil, my bottle of olive oil that I got from Asda's own olive oil, that's run out, and I've just got one from Waitrose's own brand olive oil. It's exactly the same bottle, exactly the same lid. They just have a different label on the front, the same shape label. So obviously it's coming from the same factory. Sneaky monkeys, isn't they?
How much you pay for your olive oil?
I don't know. It's about. I think it's expensive now, and it's about £6. I think the bottle
How
was.
much?
I don't know. Sort of.
Is that half litre or litre?
Half litre. Is that expensive?
Next one for me.
Oh, okay.
I'll get from the village.
Oh, okay.
Which
Oh,
is surrounded by 1 million trees,
yes.
all processed in the village, straight to the shop within the village.
Oh,
It's
lovely.
£11 per litre,
Oh, that's amazing.
and you get 3 strengths. You either get the spring pick,
Yeah.
smile, medium, which is sort of mid, or the late.
Which one will make me look 20 years younger and keep me alive for another 50 years?
So moisturiser, which is made out of olive oil, in the olive oil centre, yeah. No, it depends on which one you want. Whether you like the strong peppery one.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not overly strong. I'd probably go mid-rate and mid strength.
Right, let me know next time.
I will, thank you.
And honey?
I love honey. I do love honey. I end up with I buy the Rouse honey because I know they put the money back into beehives and things because I like my bees, but that ain't cheap.
Tomato honey?
Ooh,
Forest honey?
I just have any honey, whatever I can
Tomato
afford.
honey is from the Thai plant, which is relation to the William honey.
Ooh,
Or you can have the avocado honey from the avocado.
I use like whatever's the sweetest and the more floral tasting.
Right, probably the rose or tomato.
Yeah,
The avocado is very, very rich.
yeah,
Not sweet.
yeah. No, I like it.
It is a very, very strong honey.
Yeah, no, sweet is always sweet for me.
Put your shopping list in before
Your comments have come in different orders, Rosemary. The shadow on the big mountain is horrible. Really gone wrong. Has it changed by putting the rocks on or not? You see, I'm looking at, because it's a white building in the snow. It's tricky, but I'm thinking the shadow on the building is similar to the snow shadow in the distance, because the snow on the roof and the shadow of the snow on the floor is much bluer, isn't it? So I think I'm going to have to scribble some more blue and grey down. And I'm going to use a smaller brush. What's that?
We have beehives at work.
Do you?
They're known as the DBs.
That's brilliant.
And they do harvest them twice a year, and often they're selling sold to those for good causes. So
I saw, there was a thing I saw and I was really considering it. They're hexagonal units and they're beehives that you can have inside your house, and then there's a tubing that goes out through your window, and then you can add more hexagonals on. So you could have your own working beehive inside.
Just in case anything got broken or cracked or...
This is blue.
The blue and grey again, the same as my background mountain. Just for the shadow on the building. Now this bit is much, much darker. Yes, that'll do, I think, although there's a little bit of texture on this wall. Oh, and the tree shadows. I'll put them on reluctantly. With a thin brush. They're going to look naff, I think, so you might want to decide not to do it, because they won't look like tree shadows. Do. I want it to feel cold. Right, let's get that kettle on.
And my employers also member of the Warwick and Leamington Spa Beekeepers Association. So we had the Beekeepers Association come in, and I brought some honey in there, because you can only buy it from the guys that produce it. And they had a taste, and what was really nice was ivy honey. But that was like sage cream in colour, and I thought giving it as a gift might be a bit strange. So I thought I won't buy that one, but I did buy orange honey. That was lovely.
I've had the Broughton Castle honey. That's not bad, but it's expensive. It's just a little jar, it's like $4.50 or something like that.
But that's so basically have my employer of them the Warwick and Leamington Spa Beekeepers Association.
Oh yes.
When the association came on site to tell us about the bees and things, and they were selling it, those little jars, perhaps, I don't know, sort of half the size of, about $3.50, I think.
Yeah.
$4.50.
You see, I'm a massive honey. I have honey on everything. I have it on my cornflakes. I have honey and cinnamon on my cornflakes in the morning. Nice. Like cheap.
That's honey and sugar. You get diabetes if you like that.
Honey and cinnamon. Well, instead of sugar, yeah. So I have honey and cinnamon, and then I have when I'm singing, I have black tea and honey, because it's good for your throat. I don't think of honey as naughty. I think of it as medicinal.
Most of us don't think of honey as naughty. trees?
The same as that, the blue and the grey.
Blue and the grey.
It's not like I eat a whole 500-gram tub a week of honey,
No.
but maybe every 2 or 3 weeks I go through a 500-gram tub of honey. I love honey. Do you like honey, Dan?
Partial to it, but
See, I use honey instead of sugar,
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
I-
so yeah, right.
and I don't use sweetener.
I'm a sweetener.
If I'm gonna have it in my tea, I'll have honey in black tea, but I'll have sugar if I'm having sugar in tea. Because I don't normally have tea in sugar in tea. But there are times when I really want just a strong, sweet cup of tea. And if I have a black coffee, I'll have a sugar in that because I find coffee very bitter.
I find coffee bitter too.
Some coffee tastes like ashtrays to me. I'm not a coffee connoisseur. Daniel, you have another coffee.
Yes, please.
Ellen, tea.
Tea, please.
Pam,
Tea, please.
tea.
My coffee black and bitter. Bitter like me. Oh, yeah, I should have passed that to you.
What a lovely drawing.
It's such a good drawing. You actually missed the corner of the house.
Do you know, I missed the corner house in my own drawing as well.
No, it's because it's there on the screen. I can
Yeah.
see the pencil.
I added it in. I traced mine and then I went to look at it and before anyone came and I swore out loud that I'd not even bothered to put the corner of either of the houses in. I missed off loads.
So I'm not winning that argument then. Okay.
No. Be grateful, Daniel.
I'm very grateful. But I'm still going to wind you up.
Lovely photograph. I've sort of gone wrong because I brought the mountain down past the house. Oh no, the mountain should have stopped about there. I brought
We
it
can
different.
look what we can do. It's a bit lighter behind that house, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get the chalk on my finger.
Ah.
I litres is that? Or drink that a day?
Yeah.
There's some guys at work that have got same sort of thing. Mine's about 250 ml. They go, you need to do more than that. I know.
I drink 2 litres a day if you include tea.
I struggle. I don't know whether you're supposed to include tea or not.
Well, it's a fluid, isn't it?
Yeah, but it also makes you dehydrated.
Does it?
Yeah.
I think the amount I drink on a Sunday, I'll drink about 14 cups of tea.
Thank you. You probably could be dehydrated.
I rehydrate myself with everyone I dehydrate from, I think. Because I have I have my teapot on a Sunday, and when I wake up, I fill it, and then when it's empty, I fill it. I literally just on a constant cycle. I love my tea. Right, I'm just going to dunk a biscuit, and then we'll do the roof, I think. What you missed?
The tree on the side of the house.
Oh, the shadow of the tree. It's in the same colour. That looks like, to me, that building, it's in 2 sections. Because you can see the shadow goes up, across, and up again. So I reckon the roof and the apex is a modern addition.
Well, it's only smooth,
And
isn't
it comes in a bit, yeah.
There's a bit, the wall itself is
Mm.
just,
I'm very thankful that my taste has come back in all the things I actually enjoy eating.
yeah, it must be quite difficult if you haven't got your taste buds.
Bananas tasted absolutely disgusting during COVID, especially ones that were overripe.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They really tasted vile. I couldn't eat them. I have a banana. I have at least one orange and a banana a day. Then I feel like that's 2 of my 5 a day sorted, no problem. I have that with my lunch. And I do have vitamin C dissolvable powder that my neighbour who's a nurse recommended. What was that?
I don't actually know. It was when was those here, the glue caps and the red and black things that are also by the fireplace.
You guys playing up again?
Well, I don't even know where that was. I had to do a bit of a lean over here to get my bonga because my bonga had run out of batteries.
Bongo?
For the doorbell downstairs.
Ah, fine.
So I thought I'll put it up there by the king. So it's fine.
How's the tail of the window going? Oh, we've got a nice cut. Just noticed that. I'm a bit slow. I know.
Oh, it's my camera that's shaking. What's that, sorry?
The tail of the window. Although I
Oh,
know
I've got glass now.
Oh, have you?
Oh, yeah.
You've
I'm
got a
going
nice
up in the
curtain.
world.
This is nice curtains, isn't
It is. And I've got a blind as well.
So it's all finished properly. How long has that taken?
3 months. 4 months. 3 months, 4 months. Yeah, the thing is, they did it on a Monday. They did it last Monday. But they couldn't come in because I'm not open on a Monday. So they
Right.
did the outside, but I came in and all the bits were on the floor here and there's a bit of putty all out, oozing through, so I had to neaten up the putty. But I don't mind doing that. I just wanted glass.
Yeah, great.
Right, I'm using my black pencil and I'm going to do the roof in pencil and then add water.
Cloud sharpener.
No.
Pretty freeze.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very dull one.
It is, isn't it?
I don't like my pencils being duller than me.
I like them as sharp as my tongue. There we go. Oof.
Many thanks.
It's all right, I suppose.
That's a bit sharp.
Was the tea slave made you a biscuit? Made you a drink today, Rosemary, or you had to make your own? The doors are quite dark as well, aren't they? Although you can't really see the door. But I'm not gonna wet the pencil with that. I'm just gonna pop it in. He's 1 point. He's on point, okay. Because when you add water, it does intensify the colour, which is really what we need.
Yeah, I sent you the video about a whole Nutella milkshake with leftovers.
And that sounds good. Kathy bought me one Christmas a big catering tub of Nutella, and a little recipe book on what to do with Nutella. But to be honest, I just ate it. I did pace myself. I didn't just eat it all over Christmas Eve or something, or Christmas Day.
Boxing Day.
I mean, it was a massive tub. It was sort of like that sort of size.
That must be the reason that I buy, but when I did have it at a friend's house, they had it with crepes.
Oh yeah.
There's spread it on the crepes and then a bit of ice cream in the middle.
Oh,
and
nice.
A pancake, and I thought this is jolly nice.
Or with some strawberries is nice, and some
Yeah.
Nutella and strawberries on crepes is lovely. Really is nice. So I think I'll do the snow shadows next. So that's the shadow of the snow on the roof and in the foreground snow. Wet that, and then the trees and posts we'll just do with the brown pencil without any water. So that's going to be grey and a lot of blue, isn't it? And there's a lot of shadow with this, so I'm going to do a big area. I like painting snow because I think it's about what you don't paint as well as what you do paint. Because you need it to look like you've been bothered, you know, because you don't just leave it white. Same with pastels. You'll be doing a few snowy pastel scenes, I think.
until the 80th anniversary of the war. You won't be doing it then, Ski, best getting.
Oh yeah,
It's not very long
yeah.
to go now.
I've
18 months, isn't it?
It's the 80th D-Day, isn't it? D-Day,
It's
80 D-Day next year.
Next year, yeah. And then that's because it's 4, and then obviously when it's 5, it's the end of the VE Day, isn't it?
Yeah,
80th
yeah.
anniversary of VE Day.
Yeah, because it was the 75th anniversary in 2020 of VE Day,
Yeah.
and I'd got loads of bookings for that, and then obviously COVID hit and lockdown, and I got all my bookings cancelled. But I am in Metheringham in August for the 80th anniversary of D-Day. So that's good.
On the south coast, I'm assuming.
No, Metheringham is up near is Leicestershire. It's up it's up not far from Melton, about an hour away from Melton Mowbray and stuff. And it's a tiny little 1940s airfield that was used up until the end of the war, and then it was disused, and now it's a museum honouring the flights, because quite a few of the crew members died either there or on the way back. I think there was a plane crash on their way back from doing a round of bombing or something, and then they crashed in the field next door and all lives lost. So it's a lovely little airfield. I was there earlier this year, and yeah, really nice. And they want me back, which is nice.
What's the word we're looking for? The chances of them surviving weren't very great, were they?
No.
And of course, this year, to put something serious as well, is of course with All Creatures Created Small Christmas special.
Yes. Yes. Oh, that's good. I can, because I'm still not seen the last episode yet.
Oh, haven't you?
No, I've got to get it on catch up. Because
What series is there on catch up?
yeah, I've watched all of them, but not the last one.
I don't mind why that fell over.
Hey?
I've just,
Oh yes, that cupboard.
I've got to blame the ghosts.
No, it's the cupboard. Not the ghosts, Daniel.
Not this time.
We haven't had much to do with the ghosts since the crystal people left.
You think there was something in them?
There's not been much at all happening. I've not seen or heard. I still talk to the building. I'm not taking any chances. You know, if there's an uprising of ghosts, I want them to remember me as the guy that was nice to them.
Not really a bust in them.
No, so they can just go, oh, we'll leave him alone. We won't poltergeist him.
I don't know if that's how that works.
I don't know. You see, I'm upset because my mum said that when she died, she said if there was a way of haunting me, she would, and she never has. I would have loved her to haunt me because she'd have been really naughty.
And she start throwing things at
She would throw things or try running at me and doing all sorts of stuff. She would have done, yes. Because she was off her rocker, my mother. And she'd have had great fun.
There was a story somewhere of a house in Gloucestershire area, and at certain times of the day, but never at weekend, things used to start happening, like the power used to go off and on, and things used to move and vibrate and fall off shelves and all that. So they called somebody in to investigate, and the first thing they did was they plotted the house on a map.
Yeah.
And drew a line straight through, because everything was happening along the corridor of the bungalow, I think, and it was just off that, so they drew a line straight through.
Yeah.
And what they realised is, because it was only happening Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, that it was the radio transmissions from Malvern out to GCHQ.
Oh, right.
And it's the power of that's after the power of the radio transmission was making all these things happen.
Oh, amazing.
So you think it was, but when you put some science behind it, there's a reason for it.
Well, they're
move things and you knew it was going to happen, so.
there often is. But I kind of go with acoustic archaeology, you know, where if a room or a building has been used for the same purpose. The sound gets trapped in a bit like the needle, you know, a vinyl record, and if the wind blows it almost plays the sounds like stable yards and things like that. I like the idea of that. I'd like the idea of being able to come back, because I just really would annoy people I didn't like.
Yeah, but you have to have that connection, because you might be dancing around trying to annoy them when they just don't see you at all. That can be
Yeah, I know,
really
that would annoy me, but
I'm trying to haunt you.
all the
Not
people
see.
that I'd have loved to have haunted, you know, said things to while I'm alive, I can just go and knock the table over or knock the coffee over onto the lap or something. Vicious, aren't I? Right. Vicious. Right, I need that to dry before I lean over it to do the trees and fence posts. Oh, there is some guttering, isn't it, or something in that corner there and there. It's almost monochromatic, isn't it, this? There should be some red somewhere. I'm too late to do a red front door. The chimney pots, though, I might just lightly dust orange, because they've got an orange tone to them, but just remember that the orange I've got is really quite vibrant. Oh, that looks alright. I did say I was going to let it dry. I didn't. I am now. I can't resist, can I? I need to let it dry, and then I'm picking up a pencil and fiddling. Stop. Well, next week's pen and wash, and we're doing a fox's head. That'll be interesting. Then we've got gouache, mountain climber in the snow with golden skies, and then, oh no, hang on, 4th of December, watercolour snowy lane with a tree. 11th of December, gouache, mountain climber in the snow. 18th of December is also gouache, which is a Christmas tree with a stained glass window on black paper. That'll be challenging.
So hang on, so what you say, a Christmas tree that's got a stained glass window stuck to black paper. Is that
So
what
we
you-
do, yeah, we're going to paint on black
Right,
paper.
okay.
We're going to make, that's a tricky-ish one, but that's quite nice. So yeah, but this is the last watercolour pencil of the year. And then the next one will be the second week of January, won't it? The third week, a deer in the frost in watercolour pencil.
Just to let you know, if ever there's snow outside, I won't be in here. All I do is get in from work thinking, thank God I've made it home and stop there then.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So just in case you think, oh, no, she won't be good. There's snow outside, ain't she?
No,
It's alright, Barry, I'll brave snow for you.
thanks. You can walk in, can't you? Well, that's if I'm here. If I can.
Possible.
if I can get out of my village.
That's it.
But I can always do them online, you see, which is quite
Yes,
good.
Yeah, you can do.
If I'm trapped in and I've got all my stuff, that's fine. So I'll have to start planning, because we don't normally get snow till late January, February time, isn't it? So I can, if I've always got like a copy of all of my lessons in my bag,
You can do them there.
then I can do them at home. So nobody's missing out. See, Jackie can walk in, but obviously she can't teach the classes, but she can run the shop. But if no, but I mean the trouble is if people can't get in, if I can't get into work, the chances are lots of people can't come into shop, so it's a bit of a waste of time. So far we've had a couple of years where we've not really had hardly any snow
We
at all.
haven't, this year might be because of the El Nino effect. Now, so it might be snow this year. But they always send plenty of hype, don't they? Because I did see, this was going back, I think it was the Mirror Online, said snow bomb to hit UK. Now when they say that, I imagine the whole of the UK, because it's
Yeah.
the UK.
Yes,
And
but
what
that just
actually
means
happened-
Scotland.
You know, and it was the very far north of Scotland. But well, that technically is the UK, so are they wrong? But I would say if it's the UK, it has to be each of the four nations. Has to be
Yeah,
Scotland.
absolutely.
Not just this tiny part of Scotland.
No.
Not really the UK being here.
No,
But of
I
course that's
agree.
Clickbait, isn't it? So I don't do that anymore. But
No.
I see this clickbait, so I think I'll just click the BBC website. Oh, I try not to do clickbait anymore.
No, the Banbury Guardian have started doing it as well. It's really frustrating on Facebook. They'll post things like they were talking about boots. One of Banbury's boots may go, and it's rumoured to be the town centre. Well, Boots haven't confirmed that either are going, and they haven't definitely confirmed that it's the town centre. Do you know what I mean? It's just to get people riled and clicking and talking. So there's absolutely nothing to know at this point. So I'm doing these trees just in pencil. Doing a
I am annoyed that the two out of town shopping
yeah.
What's this? It's taking shops away from the precinct like next.
Yeah, it is. But then the council were warned by Next. They actually said if you allow Gateway to go ahead, we will move.
So what?
And the council allowed Gateway to go ahead and was shocked when Next said, "Oh, we're moving."
What part of the?
They were like, "Really?" They were like, "Yeah, we did tell you last year." I think, whilst I'm not a massive fan of the fact that they're moving the council offices into the town centre, I think it might make a massive difference to the infrastructure, because I think now they're all going to have to be commuting to Banbury town. They're going to see that the roads are not fit for purpose at rush hour. They do, but I think if it's affecting their travelling to work, it might get sorted.
I did hear, was it one of the ladies that comes here mentioned the rumour that maybe the Mill Arts Centre might move into Debenhams, and I thought, hey.
They were thinking of moving into the old H&M, which is next to Debenhams. Yeah, they've been thinking of that for a few years now, and I think it's to do with funding. It's the same as the library. If they're all funded by the local government, and the local government owns the precinct, it makes sense to consolidate your assets.
That could be quite good. It could be probably good if they're going to the theatre, they might just pop in.
But I can't think how big H&M is. Is it big enough to house the whole of the mill? All of their classrooms and the theatre, or would it just be a classroom and a theatre?
So I was just thinking of the theatre bit itself.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever been there for a while, but boy, your knees, I know I'm not the tallest of people, but my knees, after a while, it's like...
The trouble is with the mill, it's not big enough for all the big plays and things that the local Amdram things, they have to hire Wickham Park School Hall, because it's much bigger than the mill.
And really, you know, the size of Banbury is, it could do its own theatre, proper theatre.
It could. I know people would like the old cinema to become a theatre, but I doubt that will happen.
I wonder if it's going to be the council, because you might as well shove people, as you say, into the castle key.
Yep, I mean, that is literally all they're interested in now is getting people into Castle Key, which, you know, they have got an investment to protect. I understand, but it shouldn't be at the detriment of the rest of the town centre, which it currently is.
That's one silly decision to allow Gateway and to go ahead, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I do wonder sometimes
Even the Tesco's retail park were against it. Castle Key was against it. The Old Town was against it. But I think ProDrive had a lot more influence financially. The amount of meetings I went to about that.
I was shocked because I went to look and see how much the cinema tickets were.
Oh, I wouldn't
my
even think
God.
about it.
I was shocked.
What are they now?
And it was for non-peak time viewing, because I thought, oh look, it was like a Saturday morning or a Monday morning. It's like £12.50. I went, really?
Crikey. See, that my village do a monthly cinema in the village hall, and that's £6 tickets or £7 on the door. This month, or December's, is Helen Mirren and Jim Broadbent, and it's, what's it called, The Major or something. And it's where it's based on a true story set in the 1960s of a 60-year-old taxi driver who stole a painting of Napoleon from the National Gallery. So it's a crime comedy.
Is that the Duke?
The Duke, that's it, the Duke.
And it was a picture of Wellington.
Yes, that's it.
That's the one. Oh, do you do? I've gone over to King Sutton because they do a fab little club there.
So yeah, they do. Wardington does one once a month, I think. Cinema club. Because that's a lovely village hall. The parking's a bit weird, but it is a good village hall. They have. You see, Wardington hasn't got a car park, but because it's in the middle of the village, as long as you're not blocking a driveway, you can park anywhere really. Because that's where we have the Monday mornings. Well, you've been there, haven't you? Yeah.
I'll have a look at it, see what they might say. Do similar sorts of films to King Sutton, but just be a bit closer. Would it be closer? Not too sure.
Where are you?
I'm at the north side of Banbury.
I don't know. It might be about the same, hasn't it? Really.
I think, yeah.
Just doing a few little tufts. I reckon yours will be a lot better than you're going to give yourself credit for, Rosemary. She's saying it's not going very well this week. Again, though, it's a picture. There's not a lot happening, and you can't really hide. You can't shove a bush in front of it, can you, Rosemary? That's the thing. Like, not like over that bit, I suppose. Although there are actually big bushes and trees on this side. If you look at other pictures of Blackrock Cottage. Tufty bits. Can't really see these, but they're everywhere. Apart from on the left side, because the left side is a bit drifty. See, what I do like about watercolour pencil is that we can actually just use the pencil, you know, where we haven't got to worry about trying to get thin lines. We can just use the pencil to make a thin line, which to me is really nice, especially when it comes to trees. So if you've struggled with trees in watercolour, we are using watercolour, but in dry form. I'm just wondering, do I need to darken some of my snow shadows in the foreground, or is it alright? I'm just going to look at it for a minute. Well, it's already 20 to 9, so we're doing alright. Use the black pencil if I need to darken anything. How's it going down? Pam's, how's your pencils? They're alright?
Yeah. Yes, thank you. Sorry, I was miles away.
That's good. It's good to be miles away. It's kind of a crossover, isn't it, with your pastels a little bit?
It's not so mucky.
It's not as it's not so mucky. You don't need half the same amount of wet wipes, do you?
How did you get pastel all over your face?
I know.
I sort of ran out of fingers like this side. I went like that, start the other.
It is really messy pastels.
Yeah.
I do like pastels.
Again, it's getting to learn how to use them as well.
I mean, there was one point where the pastel class should have been on the abandon list because I was only getting 1 or 2 students every session, and because I enjoy pastels I decided to keep it on a little bit, and then in that little bit we picked up another 3 or 4 students, so that was really useful. Otherwise that would not longer, because the Tuesday afternoon acrylic class next year is going back to fortnightly because we struggle to get enough people in every week. And
A really good group as well, the pastel class.
they're lovely, aren't they? Really lovely.
Really good laugh.
Yeah. Oh, they're definitely a good laugh.
Mind you, I'm glad I didn't do that skull that you did on the...
Oh, it was really interesting. We didn't use any of the sticks apart from the background. We just used the pencils for everything.
Really?
Yeah.
It's annoying I couldn't make it, but...
Oh, Rosemary, that's good. She said I've given her an idea. She shoved a big tree behind the house to hide the mountain because their mountain didn't go well. But that would work really nicely actually, because it would bring the house forward and push the mountain back. So yeah, that works. I've just outlined my roof, my snow a little bit, although I haven't put the patches of the roof in where the snow's melted. What's that? The brown, I've thrown in a little bit of orange, but it's a bit too orange. An ochre colour would be good, but I can't be bothered to find one, if I'm honest. Do you know, I'm not, I don't hate this. I mean, some classes I don't despise,
They're a chore.
but they're a chore, and they just don't. I don't know. They're not pleasant.
Which is your most popular subject to teach?
Me, anything with trees and mountains, really.
Which class? Which of these art media gets the most people?
Oh, like with customers.
Yeah.
Drawing.
Drawing.
Yeah, the Wednesday drawing class. Why? What's my?
What's the most popular subject for you to teach? Me.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Me. I like mountains. But the drawing class is really popular. But what's really interesting is when we started selling the lessons online, the drawing classes were the least popular to buy. They're the most popular in person.
Yeah.
But I've been doing, because we're doing reels on social media, 1 minute long videos to try and increase our following and all that jazz. And the drawing ones are as popular as all the other ones that I do, because people struggle with perspective techniques. So I've broken down like a very beginner's perspective into 5 different 1 minute videos. So it's like, this is how to do 1 point perspective with the house and one line, and this is how to do it with if you want 2 buildings, and this is what happens if you put it above the line, below the line. Then another video, this is with 2 points perspective, and this is how to find the vanishing point on a building from a photograph. So it's really popular. My most popular online videos, the 1 minute long ones, are where I'm actually just nice, and I tell people that that they are good artists regardless of how they feel. Do you know what I mean? They're much better than they think, and all of that kind of thing. Just a nice bit of a serotonin boost. I've had one of my videos. Let me have a look. I think I've finished, yes. On Instagram, and it's just about being kind. Let me see.
Have you had any weird comments from friends across the pond or anything?
Not weird comments, no, but it's been really this because the Just a Card campaign is running a thing this week for like Just a Card Indie Week. Oh yeah, 159,000 views my 1 minute Be Kind video has had. And when did I do that one? Four weeks ago, something like that. And it's interesting, you can see it when it goes to a different country. But this morning I did a post on, because it's a theme every day this week for Just a Card, it's about yourself. And we've been getting people from from Sweden, from Australia, from California, from Melbourne in Australia, Ontario, Canada, Germany, Portugal, Spain, and that's just on Instagram, which is really nice. We've just hit 15.4 thousand followers on Instagram.
Well done.
And on Facebook, we're now at 36,000 followers on Facebook, which is crazy for a tiny little shop like us. And that's mainly from our 1 minute reels. Some people who just follow the reels forget we're actually a shop, but if they're abroad anyway, it makes no difference. Because it's just nice. So yeah, Facebook. Did I have any messages from there? From where are people from today?
And I said there's colleagues at work who said they're down at their children was sitting to watch somebody opening a box.
Oh yes,
They were
that's
doing- Maybe you should do opening stationery box. Oh, because stationery is all lovely, like in book, isn't it?
yeah. We've got we keep meaning to record ourselves doing a stock order to open it, and I forget.
Are you still doing your subscription box?
Not really. We've got one kid that's paid for the one granddad that's paid for their kid for the rest of the year. But it's a lot of hassle for us to buy all the stuff in specially now. Oh, Instagram doesn't work for you. Is it because you're on a? It'll because you're on a computer, isn't it, Rosemary? I reckon that could be. I'm not going to do any more. How many seconds was that video? 24 seconds. A 2-hour class in 24 seconds. Obviously, I'll have to slow it down. I love watching the speed versions because it looks really cool. How it just happens. That should be long enough for me to.
Bring my new
Well,
one because I can't find my old one.
Oh, what, you had to make a new one or buy a new one?
They're selling them as kits now, so
Oh, are they?
which is frustrating because when I first made my one, I had to buy the parts separately because they weren't being bundled together.
I've seen a few on Instagram, but I haven't really seen the price of them.
My one came with a ring light as well, so I think it's one more.
Oh, that's good. I could actually do with a better one for when I'm doing all my reels and stuff, but never mind. I'm 300 views away on YouTube, Daniel. I need 300 hours by the end of the year, otherwise it starts again for monetizing.
That's fair enough.
Because we've lost about 70 hours because they do a welfare check, and if the same ISP address has been watching the same video for several times, then they don't count them as views anymore.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you don't have a macro
But it's tricky with an art thing because you might want to watch it and then the next day watch a bit more, and you know what I mean, or watch it again. So it's a bit annoying with what we do.
It's like a tutorial, isn't it? Yeah. If you can't
Exactly.
do it once, it might be too much to do.
But because these checks are all AI now, it's really hard for anything. I've stopped, and I'm pleased with that. Are you pleased with yours?
No, I've stopped because I'm not pleased. It's an all wind. You know, I think it all started to go wrong over here, and then I thought, oh dear, and then everything. I just leave it. I wind myself up.
It's not bad. That is a really lovely sky.
Yeah, the thing wasn't too bad, but it all then sort of went. But let's take away the positives, don't you? So the sky was okay.
Yeah.
The rest of it didn't quite work so well, but never mind. I've got it at home. It's on those painting. The Cottage all the
But
time.
it's about learning the technique as well.
Yeah.
Did you want to see it on the telly?
No, it's just
Okay.
it's just
I see you waiting patiently.
Pam. That's lovely, that.
that's very nice.
That's a lovely sky as well.
Thank you.
You pleased with that?
I am pleased with that one, yes.
That is really lovely.
I like how you've done the delicateness of the trees or bushes.
Yeah.
It's very delicate and beautiful.
They are. That is lovely.
Yeah.
It's only scribble.
Scribble. It's delicate. It's delicate scribble. I like that. Thanks, Rosemary. Take care.
Somebody else can do that. So
I'm going to see Daniel's. I'm definitely having those on this.
He's so engrossed in his artwork.
That's a lovely sky as well.
Yes.
What?
It's got-
If I was aiming
Well,
at
the
you, I
sky's
would-
decent, but it all went wrong.
Well, not in the eye,
They
but-
got this in the wrong place. They threw everything out. I think.
I would have hit you.
That's
Well, if you put it on screen, it looks a lot
My
better.
accuracy ain't that bad.
Go on, then.
Okay.
Let's have a look.
There's only 3 people to laugh.
Nobody's gonna laugh.
That's actually really
What's
nice.
wrong with that?
Well, the cottages aren't sort of quite right, and I got the mountains finishing too far down, and then the trees are a bit.
But you know, I think it.
The sky's good though.
The
Yeah.
shadow on the wall, I think is brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm quite pleased with that, and the
But that I
Sky.
really love that sky.
it is good. Yeah, I do like my sky.
Yeah. But you know, it's all other techniques that we've
Yes.
not used before. So
Yeah, as you say, then you can hope next time eventually all the techniques will come together.
Daniel. I'm impressed with everybody's skies today. That's lovely,
Oh,
that
wow.
Dan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pleased?
It's always a class SWAT, isn't there?
SWAT.
What does that mean?
SWAT. Clever clogs.
Clever clogs.
Ah, right. You say SWAT to me, I'm thinking machine guns and.
Oh,
You
it's
know.
all that gaming.
Perhaps those were spawned a few decades before we get SWAT.
There's only 10 years between me and Daniel.
A lot changed.
A lot of my colleagues seem to think I'm in my mid-20s for some reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A lot of people think I'm in my mid-50s. See, I have the opposite effect. Well, that's good. It's that olive oil.